to the other now in Centurion, where the suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner General, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, now appears to be facing arrest. That's relating to ongoing investigations around corruption within the SAPS. Newzroom Afrika's Zola, Sholwana and her team are tracking that story. They join us now from that breaking news this afternoon. Zola, what do we know? We heard from Ian Levitt earlier, the attorney for Shadrack Sibiya. He says that his client is going to be arrested.
Well, I can tell you, Stephen, that according to the information at our disposal, we have seen some members of the NIU, of course, making their way inside the premises of General Shadrack Sibiya here in Centurion, and of course, some family members. And we're also told that General Sibiya arrived shortly, or rather a while ago. So we are unable to really tell what is happening inside, as you're able to see that the gate is closed. But I can tell you that, a little bit earlier on, there was quite a lot of, police presence outside here. And we also heard from Shadrack Sibiya's lawyer, who told us that there were men with rifles here. And he did understand, according to his understanding, his client is actually facing arrest at this particular moment in relation to, corruption allegations that were mentioned through the Madlanga Commission. Now, you would understand, Stephen, that prior to the Madlanga Commission, these allegations were heard during General Mkwanazi's explosive, media briefing, where these allegations surfaced. And of course, at that particular moment, Shadrack Sibiya was denying those allegations. Now, General Mkwanazi took the stand at the commission, and we also know that General Fani Masemula also gave his 2-day testimony, where he was making, quite powerful allegations against General Sibiya, essentially saying that there is, linkages between him, alleging rather that there are linkages between him and Minister Mkhunu, and also other cartels in the Gauteng province, referring to KT Molefe and also Kat Madlala. But let's actually get to hear from Sibiya's lawyer confirming one of the charges that he understands that his client could be possibly facing.
There is a large police presence here, I think. Yeah, there is. With machine guns, all very useful for when this is ventilated. Masked police with machine guns, but that's we'll deal with it at the right time. They're not even allowing his attorney into the house, but that will also be dealt with in time. But I can only tell you what I've been told or heard on the radio, and that it was defeating the ends of justice. So that's what it is. But there are masked police with automatic rifles at the house now.
Well, Stephen, at this particular moment, there's little information as to what is happening inside the house, and if really the arrest will be carried out, if we will see General Shadrack Sibiya being taken in one of these, NIU vehicles that we understand are currently inside at this particular moment. But just to remind our viewers really as to what has led us to this point, General Fani Masemula, made serious claims reiterating that Sibiya and Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu, have allegedly been protecting Gauteng criminal syndicates. And of course, this was heard during his 2-day testimony at the Madlanga Commission. He also alleged that there was, a clear motive to disband the political killings task team that we understand, was, disbanded, claiming that the reason behind that was to protect, Madlala and, of course, Molefe, whom we understand they are, undergoing, their cases rather are ongoing at this particular moment. So we anticipate to see a little bit of action as to what's going to happen from this particular moment, but we will be stationed here to monitor operations as to see who's coming in and also who is coming out.
And Zola, Shadrack Sibiya is one of the interesting characters in this, if I can call him that. He has a long experience, of course, excuse me, as a police officer. but seems to have played quite an important role relating to dockets and the political killings task team.
Well, yes, indeed, Stephen, you would understand that, before coming to this point, there were allegations that he has played a significant role in, some dockets basically disappearing or cases not being investigated. I mean, this was attested by General Fani Masemula during his testimonial, where he essentially said that there was no other motive, of disbanding the political, killings task team other than to prevent investigations against cartels involved in murder and drugs in the Gauteng province. So those were allegations that we know that have been leveled against him. And since those allegations have been made, against him, we haven't really heard much from him, that is General Shadrack Sibiya, about what he thinks about those, serious allegations leveled against him, considering the fact that he is, he was a very well-respected figure of the South African Police Service. And, we do anticipate that at some point he will also be given, an opportunity to stand before the commission and also get to, tell his side of the story, because there's so many allegations that have been coming forth. And as I said in the beginning, he would comment. We understand that he also took General Fani Masemula to court, essentially saying that he was not pleased with the way he was actually, asked to take a leave of absence following these allegations that were leveled against him. But of course, as I said, Stephen, we will be monitoring operations here and get to see who's going to be coming inside the house and also coming out. We know that the SIU is inside, General is also inside here, and some family members, of course. But we'll keep our viewers updated as soon as there is some movement from this side.
And Zola, we haven't heard from Shadrack Sibiya. We've heard from his attorney, Ian Levitt. We also haven't really heard very much from the police themselves about what they're actually doing.
Well, according to a very short statement that was released, just a few minutes ago by the national spokesperson for the SAPS, they essentially said that they are not aware of any arrest that is, taking place at this particular moment, and they could not, comment further on the matter. But we are anticipating to perhaps hear from them as the story develops, because if there is an arrest that's going to be effected, then it would be quite interesting to hear from the SAPS as to what they think about what is happening today. Is this something that was going to, happen? Is it something that they anticipated? And also, what are other charges that he's currently facing, apart from the one that we know about at this particular moment, which is defeating the ends of justice?
And Zola, I mean, obviously there will be a lot of attention now about what's going on at that home, what's happening there, and why there are so many people there. Do we know much about the actual police presence? We've heard that it's a large number of individuals.
Well, Stephen, I'm going to ask my colleague to show you what we are seeing outside. There isn't any visibility of police outside the home. The cars that we are seeing really are unbranded cars, so it's a bit, difficult to tell whether there are SAPS vehicles. Perhaps some have gone inside, a little bit earlier on, but we know that the NIU is currently inside, but we're not able to see the activity that is currently taking place inside the premises from outside. So I haven't seen any, police vehicle that has been monitoring here. It's quite a quiet, area where, people are just moving on with their lives. Life is really going on. Nobody is, stopping by to see what is actually happening. That is because from outside, you can't really see what is happening. But this is a developing story, a breaking story, really. So we are anticipating to see a bit of movement and, of course, people coming here in numbers to witness what is expected to take place here in the home of General Shadrack Sibiya in Centurion.
Thank you very much indeed, Zola, Sholwana, and our team there. All right, just to recap then on the breaking news that we've seen today. Firstly, there is Zola Sholwana, who has been on station at that house there, where that arrest, it seems, or what the attorney has told us will be an arrest of Shadrack Sibiya, has been underway.